Okay. Without further ado, let's get you in this Christmas special. Let's help you out with the review.
The Jewish Christmas special.
Yeah, the Hanukkah special. Right. All right. First of all, what class is this? Hang on, I scrolled too
Dual
fast.
blade.
Dual blade. All right. You liking dual blade?
Yeah, very much so.
Mhm.
Like surprisingly, most people don't really connect to the mobbing of dual blade, but I found it very fun and like flashy, and it's pretty cool.
Okay. And so you want to keep playing it the whole way through?
Yep.
And you have a specific goal in mind, or you're just slowly just moving forward?
Currently, I'm working towards getting 5-set Arcanes.
Mm-hmm.
I've been pondering whether I should buy the droplets from the store for it, because I can like push through with the farming and get like all the 5-set with it.
Mm-hmm.
But currently I'm working towards getting 2 Tenebris bosses in half a year or so. I've been getting around 7 bill a week, something like that. So I'm slowly progressing towards it. So
Okay.
and I have like things I wanna ask in this session. Like I've made a list.
Sure. Yep.
So
You want to start with the questions?
yeah. So
Sure.
my biggest concern right now is whether to farm up for droplets or to star 3 items, which are my CRA hat, my reinforced ring,
Yeah.
and my reinforced earrings, which I will transfer onto the superior earrings,
Mm-hmm.
because my earrings got 18 in luck and 20 drop, so I was like, fuck it, this is my drop gear.
Yeah, and you're gonna transfer over it anyway, so this is definitely good enough to keep for a while. Definitely.
Yeah.
For hat, are you using the Abzo when you're bossing?
No, I don't have an Abzo. I was looking forward towards the... I heard there were gonna be set changes, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I thought they were gonna come in handy once I switch to my Arcanes, but they never came. So
yeah, not yet.
Also, one of my questions was when are the set changes are coming?
It hasn't been announced yet, but it was, at least for KMS, it was part of the blob of like their summer update, so it should be part of this update somewhere, or maybe right after, so we're expecting it soon, honestly.
So till March I'll get there.
Yeah, hopefully, yeah.
Okay, so far, like clearing bosses, the small amount of damage really isn't necessary, so I was like, no way I'm making another hat for that.
Yeah, I didn't know if you were specifically keeping the hat 17 because the other pieces are 21, right? If you were thinking about getting the Abzu hat, but then if it's just because the hat hadn't gotten lucky yet on Star Forcing, then that makes sense too.
Yeah, and I have like a ton of backups for it.
Exactly, yeah.
For like the only thing I don't have backups for is the reinforced ring, and that's like I'm like contemplating with either getting the droplets to buy Arcanes with, and only do the ring on 5, 10, 15, and then because I have so many reinforced earrings and CRA hat, I can do it also in 30%, like after the 5, 10, 15.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. Yeah, because you have like 9 earrings, yeah.
Yeah, and I got another 2.
And 2 superiors, yeah. So it should be guaranteed 21.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So that's your option. And it's 3 Dominators? That's all you have for Dominators?
I've gotten like 2 at the last week, so yeah, that's also going for me. And that is my next project.
Okay. And
like,
do you have
really
backup? Do you have like kind of treasures? Extra?
Yeah, but my Canas treasure is also like 21, so I have like 7 primals. So I thought about getting my ring to 21 instead of Canas treasure, but I've been farming both.
Yeah, because you wanna do the same thing where you transfer hammer into the superior, right?
Yeah, and also Another question I had was whether to get a Meister ring or to go to slime ring as soon as possible, so I won't spend any funds.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the problem, or like the main issue there with getting room for the slime ring is that you're gonna be doing kind of like the same thing as going for a high star superior, but then you're using another superior as a transfer fodder into the slime. So
Yeah.
it would depend on what star force you'd be willing to settle on, but it seems that you're like very, very heavily in the transference from 17 to 21 and jumping over, right?
Yeah.
So you would have to, the whole idea would be to get like 21 Kana or Meister, transfer into a superior, tap it to 21 again, get it into the slime, and then decide, do you want to stay with 20 slime, do you want to tap it again to 21, or do you want to go crazy to 22? Those are like the options. Because right now you're using, is the Chaos Ring is one of your main rings? Yeah, that can definitely be upgraded a lot, right? That slot,
Yeah,
and then the Reboot Vengeful, yeah, so your options are filling Reinforced, Slime, and Meister for the 2 slots, right? Yeah.
And yeah, probably I'll get my Meister to 21 till I have enough backups.
Mm-hmm. And then yeah, even using one of those is already going to be a good upgrade compared to the Chaos Ring or the Vengeful Reboot Ring. And then, how are you doing for Gollux coins?
I have about 1.5k.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so for Reinforced, that's pretty good, right? That's 3 backups.
Yeah.
But then the thing is that it's going to be very risky tapping the Superior if you want to go for Slime.
Yeah. I'm gonna tap like very far in the future, so I'll probably get my Meister to 21 either way, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I guess that's what they should do. Okay, and another thing I was kind of contemplating about is the superior pendant I have, which is 30% luck.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, I don't wanna go with the whole process of transferring a dominated pendant onto superior.
Yeah.
But I guess that's like the question whether I wanna save my Gollux coins for another superior ring and a slime ring, or whether
because they're sharing currency, so it's gonna depend on how lucky you get with the other pieces and how many you need. Because like the belt is gone, that's good, right? That one's done. The earrings can probably be done as well without needing any coins, so that's fine. So it's all gonna come down to the rings. If you decide to do the backup for the superior, there's a very good chance you just need 1 to transfer hammer and to go into the slime if you want that one. So it's gonna be 700. Whereas if you're going for reinforced, and you want backups there, even if you need 1 backup and you already have one, that's already 450 or 900 coins. So that's already kind of more expensive. So where you take the risk will depend on, where you can make the biggest gains. Right now, compared to your current situation, it would definitely be like a Meister ring and a slime ring would be like the way to go in terms of direct gains. But eventually, it's going to be up to you. It's fine if all your other pieces are like 20 and 21 and you're working on Arcanes and your pendant is still 17. That's not a big deal, right? You could just wait a longer period of time until you get way more Gollux coins and then go on the pendant itself. And then maybe after like 3 or 4 booms, after all your coins are gone, you're like, okay, fuck this. I'm just going to do the transfer method. And then, because like the potential is really good, of course. But in the end, if it's stopping you from getting from 17 to 21, then that's not really worth it. But if it's the only item that's not getting there and everything else is getting there, it's fine to have just one piece that's staying behind on 17, because you'll be able to do all the same content. Plus, there will still be one upgrade that's quote unquote relatively easy to do, when everyone already is trying to like 22 stuff and telling you about how horrible it is to get to 22. You'll still have the ability to get one item from 17 to 21 and still make a substantial upgrade there. Yeah.
So I've decided to not ever go for 22, like maybe after every other project of mine is done, because I really hate my items being destroyed. And
wait, that's weird. Most people love that.
Yeah, I have all these messages in the chat going like,
Yeah.
why the fuck is this thing not gray?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Or
The
all this
traces.
kind of
Yeah.
stuff. Yeah.
Smacking all the traces. Thank you for the Star Force event. Yeah.
But yeah, another thing I consider is like the re-rolling on the pendant is far less destructive than the star forcing, so that might cause me a lot of emotional pain that might cost me a lot more like further in life, not Michael wise.
Yeah. That's true. That's true. It depends on how attached you are to the lines. I mean, it's really nice, of course, because it's got all set as well, and as a dual blade, all set also scales pretty well, so it's good potential.
Yeah,
because
we got two secondary.
Exactly. Yeah.
Okay. So how big of a boost is going to 5-set Arcane is? Like,
well, you have the cape at 21, so for the cape it's not going to be that big of a boost, but the main thing is that you basically get the green light to push really hard on stuff like your flames and your potential, so you won't feel bad about at least trying to go for 30 or 33 potential on all the pieces. So in potential it's going to be a gain, and then just the extra bonus stats. I think I'm on my arc right now. Well, I'm on 21 star, but I have a 17 star piece. Hang on. My glove is still 17 because that one just keeps booming. My glove at 17 is, well, with the flame is like 240 main stat, 200 secondary stat, and then 41 attack.
Oh.
At 17 stars as well. So it's, yeah, attack is a little bit higher, but like the stat can be quite a lot higher because you'll just push harder on flames, basically. Or you're the same as now, but then you have a bunch of all-stat extra. And then for gloves, you'll definitely want to go for the double-line crit damage, right? Because you're going to keep those gloves like forever. And the other potentials are going to be better, and flames are going to be better. And if you push beyond, I don't have a 19-star piece, but like your cape is, yeah, 77 attack at 21, and my cape at 21 is 93 attack.
Yeah, so not that big of a boost. So.
It's the set bonus is all a little bit bigger as well, so that's nice. So it's like 30 attack on 2 set, 35 and 50 all stat on 3 set, 40 attack on 4 set, and then 30 attack, 30 boss on 5 set. Yeah, that's gonna tweak a little bit, but that attack also adds quite a bit because it's like 135 weapon attack for the 5 set.
Yeah.
Versus,
so,
I think it's like 100 or 105 or something on Abzo. Yeah, the main thing is just that the sky becomes the limit, right? And then once you have the pieces, it's already an upgrade, just 17, so that's a guaranteed upgrade. And then as you get more droplets later, and as you get backups and everything, then you can also start going up to 18 and to 19, which right now for Abzo is just unnecessary. But adding that up for the Arcane stuff, that's going to be significant because it's level 200 stuff, so every single star, the difference will become bigger and bigger.
Okay. And when is the last day to buy the droplets from the stores?
I believe the stores stay up a little bit longer. Are you familiar with all of my commands and everything? We got a lot in there. I think for stores, yeah, February 13th seems to be the last day of the stores.
Okay.
Because the main thing is, for like, so if you are trying to buy the items before an event, so you can participate in events, right, and save money, then I would buy the droplets for Mezzo as well a little bit earlier. Otherwise, I think it's fine to just buy the one for the black beans, because in KMS, they also, after the live event, they release the shops that sell the droplets just all the time, unlimited amounts, for 50 mil each. But you'll also get like the guild discount, yeah. So they will actually be a little bit cheaper. So if you need the pieces at the moment for like to capitalize on the discount, and it's your next upgrade that you're going to make anyway, then you could just buy them in the store just to make sure that, you know, because then the discount of the event is going to be bigger than the possible discount if you buy them. But if you're not really making the switch anytime soon, it's fine to just buy the one with the black beans and then just sit on your money, and then buy them later when you're like, okay, now is an event that I'm going to go hard. Now I just buy them all, as long as you have enough boss drops, but I think you have that covered, right?
Yeah. Like the main thing I thought about was I have nothing to use my DMT in, so I figured maybe I'll get a shoulder, and I have also a ton of cubes left from when I cubed my arcane.
Your weapon?
Arcane dagger, yeah. So I have like 100. So that's a waste of like 1.4 billion.
Yeah. But those are, you still have them, but they're like blinking?
Yeah, there are like 2 days left, so they're not blinking yet.
Oh yeah, almost. Yeah, a lot of other stuff is annoying to cube at this point. A lot of all-stat.
The hat I spent like a fortune on getting to second stat, because a friend of mine told me, what the fuck, 27 luck is much worse than 2 second.
Yeah, it seems really good, right? For mobbing and for bossing, it's really helpful.
Yeah. It's more the fun part. It's like a lot more fun to use more
to spam. Yeah. You have to wait for those cooldowns. Be like, oh, you could just smash the keys over and over. Yeah.
Yeah, and I calculated, and 4 seconds skill cooldown is like insane. Something above 40 bill or something.
Yeah. I've seen some people with like 3 and 4, but it's very expensive on average for sure. Some black QB thing you might min-max on later, but that's like everything 21. Arcanes are 19. You know, everything is 3-line, double-line crit damage gloves. WSE is completely finished. Like that's when you start working on the hat, see if you can get 3 or 4 second. You kind of just YOLO black cubes and see if you get lucky.
Yeah, I guess I buy the 5 black cubes each month. Just use it.
Yep. Who knows, man? One day. You only need 1 cube, you know? You just need 1 lucky cube. I guess the cubes could go to... yeah, I mean, the best thing to use the cubes on would be on a ring, but then you'd kind of force yourself to Star Force off event, which would probably lose you more money than the value of the cubes. So that's kind of unfortunate. Yeah. Honestly... you could probably try to tier up the fairy heart and just roll the, because it's red cubes, right?
Yeah, but the fairy heart is 24. So I thought
I'll wait 30,
for one droid heart. No, I thought I wait for whether or not we get one droid heart, and if we do, then I don't go for 30 and I go for 30 for one droid heart, because the 50 stat is pretty significant with the pretty low cost, and that's why I haven't touched it.
Sure. Yeah, just trying to find, because other than that, it would just be getting stuff to legendary. But how's your drop and Mesogear? Is that fully covering?
Yeah, I've got it. Like I've got it down, so we don't have to go over it. And my Legion is also pretty nice. I guess I'm getting like a character to 200 per week, so like 20 weeks left or something like that.
Easy 8K.
Yeah.
Yeah, let me know if you have any questions about like Legion or links or anything. Or
to be honest, most of the information about Legion on the web is insane. Like I haven't gotten a single question of mine not answered by watching videos and using people's leveling guides and your commands and everything.
Okay, good.
So yeah, I got that covered.
Good.
The only thing I wanna get on my Legion is more coins, because I feel like I can't use most of my coins because I need everything for Legion and Legion Wealth Potion to farm as much Meso as I can while I'm training my dual blade to 260 for the Nebris bosses.
Yep.
So yeah, I guess getting to 8k and getting Star Force on everything while I'm training to 200 will do the job. But
yeah, you got a lot of 150s and 160s, and that'll bring your raid power up quite a lot. It's a big difference, right? It's a big gap from like your mechanic and your Lara are like the closest together in level, but they're like almost 5 million raid power in between.
Yeah,
it's almost triple. So that's a big difference in just squeezing out some more 200s, but you're slowly doing that, so you'll definitely see the benefits of that. And then like 1+1 events are really good to get all the equips that you accumulated, all of them till 12 stars very easily, very cheap.
Yeah.
And then you can capitalize on those that raid power. Yeah, there's gonna definitely be until you get to 8K. There's always a time if you're playing a lot where you're always trying to like split your pennies. Like, okay, do I spend it here? Do I spend it here? You don't want to delay your upgrades, but if there's an event, you want to make as much money as possible for the event to capitalize on that. Yeah, it could be a bit of a balancing act.
Yeah. Okay, so another unrelated question I wanted to ask is,
Sure.
I had my Pathfinder got to level 70 on the MapleStory M,
Yeah.
and I couldn't like claim the PC pet.
Yeah, I think that's
I have-
only after February 8th or something that we get that.
Oh, like everyone has it on clear right now and can claim it.
Oh, I haven't been able to claim. Well, people in my chat said that you can't. Or January 19th or something. Hang on.
Oh, okay. So it's time gated. So.
You can get some stuff in the game on the character immediately. Reward distribution starts February 2nd to February 16th, it says on the patch notes.
Okay, so February 2nd.
Yeah.
No problem. Okay.
Yeah. The in Maple M things you get immediately on the character, but yeah, for the PC February 2nd.
Yeah. Another thing I was thinking about on my main is whether I have an 18% boss on my first line and 9% chance to skip cooldown on the third line of inner ability.
Mm-hmm.
I wonder if the 9% chance to skip cooldown is like relevant even.
I think on Dual Blade I guess I can sometimes skip your final cut, right?
Yeah, both my final cut and my chains of hell. So,
Yeah, your iframes, yeah.
So 20% chance to have another iframe is pretty significant, but I don't know. Like,
I think they put it as an option. I think in general they probably want to prefer to get the buff duration, but it says here between crit, buff duration, and cooldown skip that either one would work.
yeah.
I guess
Like, crit is covered.
yeah,
so
the min-maxy thing would probably be to eventually reroll the Meso Obtain and get the buff duration on that one. That would probably be best in slot. Or the attack, one of the two. But, I mean, I like Meso Obtain a lot, so I wouldn't reroll it either.
Yeah, like, seeing my rates go up by so much by getting the Meso Obtain line, it feels so good. So I'm not... The only thing I'm wondering is whether I should go for 20% Meso. But yeah, I'm not touching that anytime soon.
Well, the Meso can only go up to 15, right?
Yeah, but I don't know. 2% Meso, 1% skip, 2% boss. It's like really like time consuming and really not worth. Like I have things that I can use my time a lot more efficient on.
I think so too. I think it's a fine interoperability. Plus, if you're gonna go crazy with it, you probably have to pay a whole bunch to get some ranks back as well. So you'll just need a lot of honor experience. Probably like a few mil. Yeah, exactly. So you'll have some time until then to figure out if you want to go crazy. So I think the main thing is that if you want like the reliable extra utility, then you go for the buff duration. And if you want the more RNG utility, then you go for the chance to skip cooldown.
Yeah.
But I think you just kind of take whichever one you get. If you have a 9% chance cooldown, I think you just take that and just hold that. Yeah.
Okay. Another thing I was wondering is I saw in one of your gear reviews that Akana's decent speed infusion wasn't that necessary. So I just wanted to confirm that speed infusion on dual blades are necessary.
On dual blades, yeah, it gives you significantly like the max attack speed. For Kanas is because it only applies on like 1 or 2 attacks, and even with like the best attack weaving that people are doing now with Exorcist charm and stuff. At least the guy that was talking, the Bamba strategy, people were saying that they were able to still do that even without speed infusion. So it doesn't seem super necessary then if you're trying to min-max that last slot. For dual blade, I think pretty much everyone always takes it just to maximize attack speed.
Okay.
Because the other thing is the survivability, right? If the attacks are all faster, you can jump out and move away from attacks faster as well. So it helps with survivability.
Yeah. Okay, another thing I wanted to ask is about the relevancy of Oz, right? To be honest, the thing that really draws me to do Oz is the damage reflecting, so I can keep the whale faster on. But other than that, I don't really know whether roll 4 is a good investment or not.
It's gonna spike your damage pretty crazy. Plus, if you know, depending on how much you're gonna switch and how long the boss fights are, it could also definitely help you bridge the gap between going from 3 to 4 rings. Like if your 3 rings are gonna be like, let's say you do get a high Star Force Meister, and then you hold on to the kind of treasure, the superior, and then for the 4th slot you either use the Reboot Vengeful or the Reinforced, whichever one is stronger, or the Oz ring. If you hold the Oz ring there in the 4th slot, that kind of means that you can go for the slime ring on the side, and you don't have like insane pressure of needing to get the slime ring in, because an ROR would give you just like crazy burst percentage. Then again, you're not like super bursty. Like you have your extra big burst skill, right, as Dual Blade, but you're still pretty DPM-y because of your spamming of your 5th job skills. So it's not going to make as big an impact on you on some other classes, but it's still very significant. The problem is just the RNG is really bad. But they have the one box now, right, where if you have 100 ring box pieces, you can get one of those boxes. It has a pretty high chance of good rings. But of course you need to get 100 ring box pieces, which is a lot.
Yeah.
I think what I'm going to revert to doing myself is like, if I have totems left near the end of the month, but I don't feel like training at all, I might just throw them at Oz for like extra spawn and speed up Oz. And because you can go through 2 hours of Oz very, very quickly without really noticing that you've been busy for that long. And it's kind of more chill content, but you're still working on your endgame progress. Oh, we don't have that box yet? Okay, but soon, right? TM, we should have that. Maybe together with the set changes. And maybe with the store and everything, right? That will also have the boxes and the bags for the inventory. Maybe they'll throw that all together. Prage? Yeah, let's Prage for that.
Okay.
Copium, yeah.
So another thing I was wondering is why Lucid Soul on attack is so much different than Lucid Soul on magic attack.
Lucid Solo attack is so much different, like the amount of damage you take, or?
No, Lucid Soul.
Oh, yeah. It's, yeah, that's a good question. I think the calculations for it are just scuffed. And they never really bothered to try to make that fair or anything. But it basically comes down to, if you're not a mage, then I don't think it's worth using the soul, like, almost ever, unless you're really overtuned for the area you're over and you're like ridiculously funded. But like in Cernium, I don't think it's ever worth it. Yeah, sure. If you want to, yeah. Well, that's you being overtuned for the area, right? I think maybe in Limina, people who stay in Limina until like 270 or something, and they really keep upgrading everything, they might get to the point where the Lucid Soul can actually clear stuff. But yeah, I don't know at this point, non-mages using Lucid Soul, if that. Can they like get to 3-shotting maybe? I don't know if that's worth it, because you can just spam your skills, and you're gonna want to go to Cernium as soon as possible, right?
Yeah.
For those juicy rates. Yeah.
Yeah, especially with being a Blade Master anyway. Yeah.
Mages get the damage percentage twice or something. I guess that's the only raid that makes them relevant. I mean, mages and everyone else also just got a huge hit in Reboot, right? On the damage of the soul because of the change of the Reboot passive. So that made most of the summons a lot weaker.
Oh, is it scaling on damage percent?
Yeah, it scales on damage percent, but not on normal damage percent, not on boss damage percent, not on final damage. Like, it scales off of damage percent for some reason, so. And apparently Kana's summons scale in the same way as the soul summons. So that's why Kana's summons took quite a big hit when training with the Reboot passive change. Yeah, I don't know exactly how all those calculations work, but like specifically high level Kanas and stuff will probably be able to tell you, but it's some more niche knowledge.
Okay. Actually the last question I have is how is the Wild Hunter Legion card calculated. That, like, I saw that it has chance to have a bit more damage, but does it have a cooldown? Like, by every attack, how is it calculated, and how like significant is it?
It's significant enough to eventually put it into your Legion, but I don't think it's significant enough to put it in early or to prioritize it too much. It's mostly good for Hurricane classes, right? Because for them it's more stable of a damage increase because they put out way more hits. But if you don't put out too many hits, then it's more fickle, right? Like the standard deviation is wider because it could like not hit for like a long ass time, or it can hit a bunch of times. It's not very reliable in that way, but it's good enough to eventually include it. Like if you're going for 8k Legion, it's definitely on the board because there's many more other member bonuses that'll just do nothing for you, right? Like give like intellect or something, and you're like, okay, that's not useful at all. But basically, it's like a percentage chance on every single hit that it gives that much percentage damage extra. But it's basically like that percentage is right. It's added to your damage bonus, and it's added to your boss damage, and then thrown into that calculator there.
Okay. Okay. Anything you see I need to work on, or like any gear you saw that like piqued your interest in?
Are you still working on the familiars?
Like casually, I get tons of them on a daily basis from farming at VC3, so I get some good ones here and there, but
maybe some double healing, or if you get a 40 boss or something.
Yeah, but other than that, I have my 3 boss familiars, and I got pretty lucky because I quit like right after we got. I have found like 3k boogies, and then I came back, and everyone was like, "Yo, make them all unique," and I got nothing really. I got a 3-second invincibility, which I don't know what that's used for.
Some people use it in Oz for like longer invincibility, getting hit by the spikes and stuff in jump quests.
Oh.
Because like all of the lines that exist of extra seconds of invincibility only works if you get hit by a skill that is not percentage HP. So it's mostly like when you get hit by regular monsters, right? But if you get hit by bosses, that stuff never triggers, so it's not useful as like survivability gear. People use it for jump quests, or you could maybe use it on like very squishy characters or something, but it's mainly just jump quest gear.
Oh. Okay.
Yeah, seasonal familiars. Yeah, I mean, if you get a unique, if you get some double healers or something, those can be very juicy, or like 35 or 40 boss, then you can replace one of the current 20% ones.
Yeah.
But other than that, you don't really need anything. You got the large drop rate. You got the meso end. Drop old spider. That one might be useful in if you're moving into Cernium, right? Because you might have to be full damage gear to be able to kill there, but then the spider will still get the bag drop rate up to 100%, so you can still make a decent amount of money, because the drop is not very important there, because it's only nodes, that's it. And then hopefully you can...
What should I replace the spider to in Cernium?
Well, I would probably go to the spider, but if you're not in Cernium, you probably want to use the boogie, right? With a large item drop rate.
Instead of item drop rate, but a large amount, then...
Well, if you're in... you train in Moonbridge now, right?
Yeah.
So what setup do you use when you're training?
The drop one.
The whole second row?
Yeah.
Okay, so the first one and the last one, those do exactly the same, so only one of those applies.
Okay.
And then the one in the middle does more drop rate on the item drop rate part, but less on the meso drop rate. So the middle one will count for large item drop rate solo, which is 100%, and then either the first one or the third one, whichever one, will count for increase split meso drop rate large amount, so that'll be 60% meso drop rate. So that's what will be active. So if you have enough drop rate gear already, that makes it so that a bag of meso always drops from a monster, which is at least 67%. If you look at your inner ability, you look at holy symbol, you look at your coupons, you look at the gear that you have that gives drop rate. If that's over 67 combined, then just meso drop rate, large amount, doesn't do anything because you already get 100% chance for a bag. So it'd be fine to use the middle one and then add whichever familiars you have with the largest defense, which could be these, you know, but it could be other unique familiars maybe that have more defense, and then that could make it so that the bar goes down slower. Or you could add 2 familiars that you want to level up on the side so that you can get them to epic or to unique to reveal them later.
Okay. So if I get like I have 100% drop rate while I'm farming, so that's enough for me to level up to familiars whenever?
Yeah.
Like whenever I'm farming? Okay.
Yeah, exactly. So I have this one here where it talks about like drop rate and meso obtain, right? And here's like the percentages from the familiars, and it also talks about like what stacks and which one don't stack. So if you have so this one here, increase item drop rate by a large amount, that's the biggest number that you can get. So that helps you with droplets, with nodes, with, you know, fucking twisted time, spell traces, all of that stuff the most. And then the meso obtain, the meso drop rate part doesn't really do anything anymore at that point. So you can, yeah, you can use that time to level up familiars and get more epics and uniques to reveal if you want.
Okay.
Yeah, it talks about coupons and the percentages and the types of drop rate. Because it could be a bit confusing because you have item drop rate, meso obtain, and then you have equip drop rate on a pendant. You know, it's all a little bit different. Plus large amount and small amount. So it depends if it says large amount, but it's 2 different ones, then it's 60% for each. And if it's large amount, but it's only one of the 2, then it counts for 100%. So the words small or large don't mean anything by themselves, but only in combination with, is it one type of drop being increased or is it both?
Yeah.
Yep. So small both is 20, small single is 30, large regular increase is 50, regular double is 40, and then large double is 60, and large single is 100. You know. Oh, and if you get unique item acquisition rate 10%, if you ever get this stacks with the percentages from your equips that can go up to 200% total. I don't know how hard you're spiking that one. Because, I mean, that's the other reason, right? Why you maybe don't want to buy the droplets from the store too quickly is if you're still training, you're still farming, then you might still get a bunch of droplets, and then you don't want to overbuy either.
I'm fine with having...
yeah, you want backups eventually, for sure.
Like, there's never enough backups for me.
Yeah, you're a boomer?
Yeah.
Traces are never fun. Well, hopefully not too many when it comes to Arcane. Those are rough ones. Have you heard the story of Asaf?
No.
He boomed. He was trying to go. He got to Arcane very, very long ago, and he tried to go for 21 Arcane, and he just couldn't get past 19 star. He blew up 18 items, 18 Arcanes,
18?
And he never saw 20 or higher. 13 of those were gloves.
Wow.
And the highest he ever got was 19. And then he came, and then he basically quit because of that, because it's like, well, okay, this is just bad RNG. My account is just cursed. I think now he has everything 21 or maybe even a few 22 pieces, but took him a while and took him a lot of farming to get back to that, because that was all long time ago, right? Like that was all like a year and a half ago when it took way longer to get all the droplets and everything. So it was an insane amount of farming to get those. So yeah, that was, if you look up the RNG on like what is the chance of that happening, it's like, I don't know, he's like the unluckiest person out of like 20,000 people or something. So, you know, but there's always one, you know. There's always one unluckiest person. But I guess that was him.
Yeah, he's sucking up all our bad luck.
Yeah, everyone else everyone else got luckier because of him, maybe. He's the Batman from MapleStory. The hero we need.
Stealing the bad luck from the poor and giving it to
them. Exactly. Taking it from the poor and giving it to himself. Robin Hood of bad luck. So does the rings all make sense with like the prices of the individual pieces and the risks accommodating them. Yeah.
The calculators are like really, really helpful in that regard.
Yeah, the higher you go, the harder it is to kind of imagine where everything is placed, how risky everything is. So it's good to have computer programs that just give you the numbers. So then at least if you get unlucky, you can just say, well, I just got unlucky. It's not like I made a bad decision, You don't have to take the blame. It's just the numbers was just bad luck.
Oh, and another thing maybe is which Absolab item should I switch next? Because I really want to have a use for my flames. Because
right.
the top is the one I worked on like regularly. And now it's a pretty cool flame. Can I whisper it here so you can show the stream?
Oh yeah, because this one is not that cool.
Yeah, it's being worked on. So 1 sec. So I got really lucky with boss flames. I spent like 2 months just putting every flame I own into this.
Ooh, nice.
Yeah. And then a bunch of people started cursing me for no reason for having luck.
Yeah, well, that's why I was talking today in this chat as well. People were like comparing and look at all the numbers of people, and you can get lost in. You can share numbers because they're big numbers, and you're like, wow, look at how lucky this person got. But you have to always, at the end of the day, go back to like, but that is what it is, right? It is just luck. Like, of course, someone who plays the game more and makes more money can have more attempts at high luck, but at the end of the day, it's still more luck. Someone could get it in 5 flames and not have put any of the effort in, and someone could have used 2,000 flames and put way more effort in and not get it, So it's you want to be careful that you attribute too much status to something that is beyond skill and it's just RNG. But that's tricky to do, of course.
Yeah.
But it's a really nice flame, yeah, for sure. So that's that one's done for a little bit. Don't have to work on that for quite a while.
Till I get my 250 shirt.
Yeah, the 250 pieces, like that looks like. I mean, it's 6 months. It's not even live in KMS yet, right? So then it's like another 6 months after that. Apparently, it takes like 6 months per piece if you funnel all the drops into one person. I don't know how it's going to be for reboot. Plus, when would you ever replace? And how are you going to get it high enough star force to replace? So like even a 17 is probably going to be barely equivalent to like a 22, maybe even lower. So yeah, I don't know when are the first people going to start switching over?
Probably in like 3 years.
That's crazy. Plus, there's no way to transfer hammer or get any luck there. So yeah. Backups is going to be. The first one who just sends it, YOLOs. And that's going to be the other thing, right? Like the first people who are like, oh, look, 22-star slime ring. Like on the first day, like it's all just luck, Like it's above average luck. And the first guy who gets one of those pieces is probably going to end up blowing it up, depending on how good the pieces are. But there might be someone who just gets like a 21 star on the first day. And then everyone will be super impressed. But they didn't do anything, right? They just, or not on the first day, but, like once they get enough drops.
Yeah, they were just lucky enough.
Just lucky enough, yeah. And it's not to take away that it's not like you didn't do anything for it, but you have to give it the right level of prestige, I guess. And that's, just to be careful.
Don't encourage the gambling in order to make other people unhappy with
what they have.
Succeeding.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because I don't know, if you saw that one run, but there was someone who basically just always got encouraged by their friends to just tap everything to 22, and they would have like 4 or 5 pieces that were 22, and everything else was 17. And then they told about all the booms that they got from 20 to 21 and 21 to 22. It's like, if you just went everything 21 first, they would have already had everything 21, and they would be so much stronger than they were at that point. But there's this obsession with like needing to get 22 so that it's like quote unquote done, right?
Yeah.
And
everyone obsessing over unfinished projects.
Yeah, but then the toxic part of that is then bleeding over that feeling that you have, that you maybe got from other people, and then imposing that on other people, like that they should feel that way too, and then they start feeling bad about the things that they're not feeling bad about, and then they might make decisions that they didn't actually want to make, but you're kind of, it's kind of like a cycle of perpetuating bad luck for stuff. So yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, but you seem aware, so I don't think that's going to be a huge problem. I guess you're still making dineros for the longer term.
Yeah. Like I've mentioned how helpful Lucid Soul was to commerce.
A lot of IFK.
Yeah. And I take everything slowly. Like if I don't feel like doing anything, then I just don't do it, because that's why I quit last time I did.
Okay. Yeah.
And
don't make the same mistakes.
I had this goal of reaching 30 bill in a month, and I actually reached it, and got like 4 equips to 21 at that amount of meso, which was fucking insane. And then like I was so tired of farming and doing anything that I just lost interest in the game.
Yeah, it's unfortunate because you just made a big jump so you can start capitalizing on it, but then you don't feel like playing anymore because you kind of like burned yourself out on going a bit too hard.
Yeah, and then I was like stuck at 249 for the next year and a half, and attended like real life events and everything. And then when everything calmed down, it just came back to Maple, and saw all my old friends getting to 275 and getting into black mage parties, and I was like, oh, okay.
Yeah, apparently they kept playing.
Yeah, they kept playing like real hard. And actually, one of my friends who I used to carry Lucid, carry normal Lomian, is now like, how do you say that he finished all the
liberated
thing? Yeah, he's a liberated angelic bastard, and he has this guild, and he added me, and we made a hard boss party. So pretty nice turn of events after that.
The student becoming the master kind of thing.
Yeah, like when they're having the animas, the 2-year break, and everyone getting stronger. So I stayed in the
time
past.
skip, yeah. Yeah, you got written out of the anime, and then you come back, and everyone time skipped and power creeped super hard. You're like, oh shit.
But yeah,
everything else is looking pretty good. I guess the flame cup can be better. That's maybe the next project, right? But it's easy.
I'm working on that passively.
Yeah, exactly. You just work on one on the side. No rush there.
Like I used to be really hardcore on flames. Like my weapon is the last thing I burnt from. My weapon is tier 6 attack and 10% boss, and I got pretty lucky with it. I got it in around 4 bill, but it's still like 4 bill I could have like not wasted on just being greedy and needing that extra attack and boss damage.
You spent 4 bill on the flame on the weapon?
Yeah, and that felt like really bad, spending all this meso just for getting this kind of flame.
I don't know. I think it's worth it, right? I mean...
No, it's obviously worth it.
Yeah.
But the idea of gambling away my money just for the slim chance that I'll get it.
Yeah. I mean, it's very much like cubing, right? It's kind of all or nothing with every roll. Yeah,
but the thing is that cubing, I can somewhat like calculate the cost of having 2 lines, and in flaming it's different. You can only calculate the percentage that a tier 6 attack will pop at the time. And
there's another calculator that looks at the damage as well.
Oh really?
Yeah. Here, because Brendan has a cost calculator. If you do the weapon, you could do like tier, and then you can also do damage percent. So if you want like at least 10%, guild discounts on flames powerfuls, it'll give you a number here.
Oh, so that also calculates like if I got 6% boss damage and 4% damage?
Yeah, exactly. And if you go a little bit higher here, the number goes up a lot.
Oh. Like this was the first tier 6 attack I saw, but I saw about 15 tier 6 magic
Oh
attack.
yeah, of course, yeah.
I saw perfect magic attack lines, like everything tier 5
Yeah.
plus tier 6.
Yeah, like
Yes.
boss, regular damage, and all stat and magic attack, right?
Yeah.
Ugh. Yeah, every time. Because honestly, even if it's only like a tier 5 attack, but it has the other 3, that's also usually a good keep.
Yeah.
But I mean, yeah, the tier 6 with tier 5 bosses, that's honestly, that's like initially what I would look for in an Arcane. I usually wouldn't go lower on an Arcane, but that's good enough for like a long ass time, so. I happened to, I was rolling on my hero, on my Arcane weapon for a long time, and I was just looking for this, like tier 6 attack and tier 5 boss, like tier 10 total damage, right? But yeah, that I just couldn't get it. And then with the event Eternals, I rolled a tier 4 boss with tier 7 attacks. I was like, okay, I'm keeping that one. That has a little bit of strength
Not
as well.
touching
So,
that again.
yeah, exactly. Because yeah, tier 7 is so rare. So if you ever get that, it's like probably want to keep it. Well, although like if you get tier 7 with nothing else, you know, depending on what type of weapon it is, it might not be that good. Like on a claw or something, it's probably not worth. Too low base.
Yeah. Another thing maybe is, why do people go for Sweetwater Kataras? Because even if they go for Absolab Kataras, like Absolab Kataras have 11 more base attack on it, or like these really funded dual blades or Arcane Kataras.
The problem is in
like
the base stats. So the attack is higher, but the problem is that the other Kataras don't have the 10% IED or the 30% boss on it.
Oh, I've never noticed that it has those.
Yeah, you would expect them to have it, because it wouldn't make sense for a lower one to have it and the higher one not to have it, right? But that's the main difference, because of course if you could get to a high Star Force Arcane Katara, it would have a lot more, like quite a lot more attack. But it's just because you have so much attack already in your weapon and your secondary together, because they go so high, you would need a lot of attack to overcome the 30 boss and the 10 IED, especially now that the amount of total damage went down as well, right? So comparatively, one single line of percentage damage is even more value now, so it's even harder to overcome that difference. Plus, because of the amount of backups, it's much easier to get a high star Sweetwater Katara than to get a high star Arcane one, you know?
Yeah.
Yours is transposed, right? Or no? Because I always forget the number.
What do you mean by transposed?
like the pendant? Like you transpose the Fafnir on it?
Yeah, for the another star.
Yeah, like 16 Fafnir and then transpose into Sweetwater?
Yeah, it's not.
It's not, okay. Yeah, it's not a huge difference. Does anyone know how much it is exactly?
I think it's like 20 stat or something like that.
Yeah, I don't know exactly. I thought it was like
huge.
12 stat, 8 attack, something like that, but I'm not sure. Oh, 11 attack, 11 dex, 11 luck. 10 all stat, 8 luck? Yeah, so that's something like that. It's around there. It's like around 10 of each. Which, you know, in endgame is a big difference, but at this point it's not.
Is it?
Yeah. Well, I mean, because every single upgrade at the endgame becomes super expensive, right? So...
Oh.
So you could consider like before you're going for 22 or something, but it's already 21, so that's like a long decision. But some people might be like, okay, I'm gonna remake it before I go to 22 or something. But that's like a small decision for you to make extra. At that point, you'll have so much money. If you're gonna have to roll for the potential anyway, that could be just like something you work on the side if you ever want to do that. But I guess now it's something that you know. So now you might feel bad about this one.
No, not really.
Okay,
like,
that's good.
In my perspective, I think that I can clear Black Mage, hypothetically speaking, right? I'm not getting there anytime soon, but people can clear Black Mage with everything 21, and without all these 10 stat here, 10 stat there, without much of it isn't that hard, but it's kind of hard. So I don't think there's all of these little upgrades accumulate to anything that big that they won't be able to do any content.
Yeah, I don't think so either. I think you'll find.
So yeah.
Do you have old potential badge?
Old potential badge? What do you mean?
The badge with potential, or do you use the Crystal Ventus?
No, I use the Crystal Ventus. Unfortunately.
Because you're at 30. What was your 35k stand now?
Yeah.
That's pretty good. That's pretty good. Yeah, I don't know if you see any huge obstacles between yourself now and Tenebris, other than just grinding out the levels and I mean mainly just star forcing, right? Like that's the main thing, and then after star force having to redo the pod. But
yeah.
I don't know if you see any equip where you still have a question on how to go about it specifically. I think the rings is the biggest thing, right?
Yeah, I think the thing with equipped is the thing that I constantly think about. So I constantly ask friends and ask people.
Mm-hmm.
So on that regard, like the only thing that matters to me is the timing, like when should I do it, or the prioritizing.
Yeah.
So what should I go for first? So yeah, I got everything covered probably.
Yeah, because you have a decent amount of backups, so you definitely have a few pieces they're gonna feel like faster priority, and then by the time you have the money back, hopefully you get some of the other pieces, and then it's gonna be their turn. And then you always have the sweet water that you can do on the side if you don't have anything ready. Then you probably have some dineros at least to go.
Yeah, maybe the other thing I should ask is how many backups should I go for with my reinforced ring? Like, should I get more than one backup for it? Because currently I have one backup and one 17-star reinforced ring. So should I get another and then have another option when I'm star forcing?
Well, the downside to that is that you're pushing back a possible slime upgrade, and you're pushing back a possible pendant star forcing, right?
Yeah, but only by 12 days. So.
Yeah, that's true. Safeguard 17. You would aim 21, 5 and 15. No, we would safeguard actually. It says for reinforced median booms average 1.34.
Yeah, so I should be fine with 2.
I would have like one backup, and then make sure that on the day itself, if you need to, that you can buy an extra one, or you buy 2 and then you can buy a third one if you need. But I would always, for this resource, I would always err on the side of caution on the side of like not needing to use too many coins. But it depends. Like if there's really only like 1 or 2 upgrades that you can make, and all of them are on coins, it's up to you how risk averse you are. If you're okay with making sure that you can make the reinforced upgrade, and then maybe you push back the other one a little bit, if that's what you're okay with, make sure that you can guarantee the reinforced upgrade on the day, then err on the side of caution of that, of buying a little bit extra. But if you're okay with maybe not making the reinforced upgrade because you don't need the damage anyway, and then you would feel worse if you had pushed back the superior upgrade, then err on the side of caution there on buying a little bit lower.
Okay. Oh, someone on the calculator had to spend 78p. That's insane. The range of cost, like the upper hand, is 78p.
Yeah, because you're going to 21, so if you're already at 17, that's why the difference between the median and the average is pretty high, because it's not a lot of stars, but there is opportunity to get really unlucky. Yeah, 78 bill is a lot. That guy's not having a good time. 10 booms. Oof.
So again, what piece should I buy first for my Arcane? To walk my flame on.
Well, cape would be a small upgrade, right? Because you already have a 21, so it's definitely not cape. Shoulder can't be flamed, and you were asking mainly for flames, right? So we just shoe or the glove.
Yeah. Wait, if flames were not a part of the equation, would you rather me going for a shoulder?
No. Well, flames are part of the equation, right?
Yeah.
Part of making the upgrade is that what gives you the biggest gain in damage, and the fact that you will go for a higher flame on the new piece than the old one is part of the equation. So I wouldn't cut that out of the equation. I would like, if you want to always have a project to be able to work on, you could go on the glove, because eventually you want to go for double crit damage there as well. So even if there's like a cube sale, you could also go hard on trying to go for double crit damage.
Yeah, and just throw every Meister cube on it is also nice.
Yeah, you can always do that. And eventually, if you want to go for double crit damage, you use black cubes. So then you can, if you get a similar potential to this one, then you can always roll black cubes over it, because even if it fails, you always keep what you have. So
yeah,
it's always safer. So probably gloves then.
By the way, if I get the gloves and I have all these black cubes, so I should dump it on the glove first, right? And not on the hat to get 3% cooldown or more.
I probably would dump it on the glove first, yeah. We can look at
I heard they changed the percentage of getting 2-line crit, because before it used to be like something crazy, right? Like north of 100 bill.
No, I don't think they changed anything functionally. What happened was there were two different potentials that were both 8% critical damage, and they were like both 4% or something, or not 4%, but like they were both a certain percent, and they basically just made them into one line with double the number, like with just added the percentages into one line. So I think it made it that it maybe on I don't know if on average that makes a difference. I would have to think about that. If that maybe like the average is probably still the same, but maybe the standard deviation is now a little bit narrower. I think it ends up being the same, right?
Oh.
But yeah, the percentage is still the same. The main jump is if you want to go for 3 lines critical damage, because then you're looking at trillions. But the cost for 2 lines stayed the same.
Okay. So I guess I'll just buy the remaining of my Arcane droplets to have my flame on.
Yeah, that's a good investment either way.
And yeah, the rest of my equips I'll buy on February, after all of the events and after I'm done with everything.
Yeah, and then if we don't get one droid or anything, I guess by my like March or April or something, if we didn't hear anything about it, then you can start upgrading the Fairy Heart, I guess, right?
Yeah.
All right. Okay. Any more thoughts? Any shout outs?
Yeah. I want to shout out to all the Benzonauts out there.
Hey, Benzonaut.
First and foremost.
Yes.
And specifically to Jerry, Matt, and Yotam, which were my brothers in arms.
Nice. From Tsava or just in game?
No. Matt is a Dutch guy from in game, which we go way back, and Jerry is my lover in game.
Nice.
And Yotam is an Israeli guy. We do bosses on, so we're kind of a family.
Blood bond.
Yeah.
Exactly. All right. Well, best of luck with everything. If anything still pops up, just shoot me DM on Discord or just ask in chat whenever, and I'll upload it on YouTube soon, so you can check it back if you want to.
Okay. And also, thank you for everything you do for the community. Like, a big discussion we had before I went to the progression session is how helpful you were to each and every one of us, and like the impact you made on so many people is so great, and thank you very much.
All right. Well, you're very welcome. It's always good to hear. Thank you. And well, I guess happy holidays and early good. Wait, do you guys still celebrate New Year? Do you celebrate 2 New Years?
We have a lot of Russian people in Israel,
right.
So that's Novi God for them, and we have the civilian New Year, and everyone celebrates that.
You just double celebrate.
Yeah.
Nice. All right. Well, hopefully you have a good time, and I'll see you around.
Goodbye.
All right. Goodbye. Thank you. That's nice. They're nice things to say. I'm gonna fucking cry on fucking Christmas, okay? Chill, all right? I just put out stuff there. You guys are using it. properly, right? Kickstarter with the Bnei Ani Uevotra. Okay, so hopefully the session was useful for all you guys. Much love. Merry Christmas, Happy New Year, all that stuff. Wherever you are, whatever you celebrate, have a good time on all of that. And yeah, hopefully the session was important and useful. Well, not important, but useful and entertaining for you guys while you were doing other stuff. And I hope you enjoy listening to these and getting a little bit of information out of every one of these. And if you would like to win one of these, make sure you leave a comment in the YouTube section saying such. If you need any of the resources that I have here, access through all of these is found through my Twitch chat, so twitch.tv/Scardor. !commands or !info or !help will link to the whole list of all of these commands so you can get yourself started. And if you have specific questions afterwards, then you can find me online, stream every day, or you can join the Discord and ask some people in there. There's a bunch of helpful people in the community that have flocked together to try to help each other out, so you'll always find someone willing to answer your questions. So thank you very much for watching. Hopefully it was enjoyable, and thank you for a great year. I think we have some more sessions this year though, so don't fret, and I'll see you guys on the next one.